Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm glad to have you, whether you're brand new or a long-time subscriber. I hope you'll be a subscriber soon. Today I'm sharing some UFO fixes. So UFOs are unfinished objects. I needed birthday cards or a birthday gift for my mom, and I had these items sitting around, and I knew that she had commented that she liked the color. So what I am doing here is I'm making cards out of, it was originally just one sheet of paper that I did a distress oxide and stencil technique on. If you want to see the technique part, I'll show you. I just used stencils and water and heat embossing. It was super fun and easy. What I will say is I did this at a friend's house, and there may have possibly been late night beverages involved. And I did not think about the fact that you can't iron paper after you put your washi tape on it. So I had to use books and different things to get these flat along the way. So that's the number one thing that when you watch these videos, you're probably wondering, why didn't I iron them first? Well, because I was dumb, and that night I was just playing with the supplies I had on hand. I wasn't really thinking about the end product. But I had a great time, and I love the technique. So then I'm taking these 4 cards, and I'm looking at different quotes for them that would be super versatile to give as a gift. I still haven't found a happy birthday die or stamp that I love. So if you guys have one, I want to know about it. I just want a basic happy birthday, not very big, in kind of a neutral font. I tried it. I got one that was too big. I just still don't have one I love. Look at what I just did. I put glue on wax paper. I used deli paper because I didn't have wax paper. And then I put my die cut on it. I got that from Creative Gigi. She's on YouTube and she's also on Instagram. And I saw her do that and I was like, what just happened? That is a great idea for not having to mess with your glue pen, or just to make things fast and easy. I love it. So I'm sure you'll see me do it again. Here's another UFO. I had this "You are amazing" quote already stamped out. So I grabbed it. I wanted these cards to be super versatile so that they didn't sit around. And there I had the glue on the deli paper, so I just grabbed it again for the back of this. I really like that glue thing. But I think maybe next time I should use something that's not deli paper. It wasn't quite as resistant as wax paper would have been. So the "To a Special Friend" was just a die, and then I put it on a circle and used that sparkle paper that I buy at that little boutique store in Washington. I think you can get it a lot of places. I think I can probably get it at the store near my house too. It's not glittery, but it has a nice sparkle to it. So when you look at these and I'm gluing them down, that's why I'm using so much glue and 2 kinds, because I'm trying to get them down flat. And then I'm applying them more like you would apply wallpaper than the way you usually see me do things. I'm starting at one side and spreading it out so that it comes out nice and flat. In the end, they worked out fine. It just took more work and more adhesive than had I ironed them before. So I'm putting the glue on the back, and I thought about like popping this up, but then I went back and forth because I wanted her to have cards that were versatile to mail to, because I didn't know what she would want to do. And at the very end, I'll show you the finished products too. Okay, this is another example of don't do this in this order. So I'm using my Wink of Stella pen. The inspiration struck me, so I went for it. And I took it and blended it on all of those flower petals. Well, then I had to rub my hand all over it to put it together. So then I was like the queen of glitter. And I also had to wait for it to dry. Sometimes when I layer things, then I have a hard time trying to color under them, but still, this wasn't a good choice. But anyway, I filled in the petals all the way on this one, and I really liked it. And I keep going and rubbing my Wink of Stella because I'm worried that the Distress Oxides are gonna kind of, I guess, muck it up. I was wondering about that, but I didn't have any troubles with that. course, I haven't used it on anything that isn't blue yet, right? Almost all my supplies have blue in them, so I should be used to it by now. Then I'm just hitting it real quick to dry that, but of course I have washi tape on there, so I need to be careful that I'm not melting it or burning down the house. Then I'm trimming down the You Are Amazing, and that's just a piece of blue paper, scratch paper that you can tell doesn't quite match, but we're going to make it work. And then I look at it and I just don't love it. This sentiment is kind of small. It's a little bit of an awkward shape. Then I get a circle and it's too big, not to mention the fact that it doesn't match at all. Then I'm trying all the punches. I'm like, is it Goldilocks? Where I'm trying to find the right size, the perfect size. And then meanwhile, I realized that bottom of that one wasn't labeled, so I marked it 3 inches so I can stop wondering and getting out all of them to compare. And then there was a piece of that deli paper sitting there. Okay, so what I learned is deli paper doesn't punch very well. I should have held it tight. So I trimmed it up with my scissors. And I was kind of just trying to figure out the size, but then I realized deli paper is pretty much vellum, right? And I wanted the technique and the background to show, so I didn't want to bring in a bunch of colors. I didn't want another color of blue or a bunch of white. I decided to use, well, first I'm going to color again in the wrong order. On this card, I didn't color the entire petal. I just added some stripes along with the white heat embossing that's on there. When you see it at the end, and you can slow it down even more if you need to when I show you the finished cards, it gives a different look. And I liked the variety, so they weren't exactly the same. I liked them both. Also, this way had less coloring, so with the Wink of Stella pen, that's a good idea. And I think my Wink of Stella might be getting a little low, but I can just add water for a while. Then I loved this. I liked the deli paper, and I thought, why do we buy vellum if you have deli paper? And maybe you don't have deli paper. I have deli paper because of gel printing and using it on the gel plate, and it's just fun to get sheer patterns. Those of you who know me know I certainly don't have deli paper because I cook. I went and I bought it, and I think I paid maybe $7 for a giant box of it. So my friends and I will be using it for quite some time. But, you know, I guess I won't need to buy vellum anymore either. Deli paper is when you go to a deli and you order a sandwich, and it's that paper that's on the little basket. It's like got a crease in the middle. Yeah, I don't know. That's the official name, I guess. Sandwich paper, deli paper, something like that. So here I'm just gluing this thing up like crazy again, and it seems to be working. Like they were a little bit stiff and strange, but I don't think they were warped. I think they were just super stiff, which I guess is sturdy is okay. And then I'm just kind of holding it down for a minute, of course, and getting Wink of Stella all over me. Then I'm going to glue this part together, of course, with extra glue to hold the whole thing together, and put that one together. So we're going to do a total of 4 cards. They're all a little different, and I didn't have a favorite in the group. You can tell me at the end if you have a favorite. And I set those aside and cut out, like, you know, I had them under books for a minute or two and cut out a little bit of dry time where I went and was grabbing things. And you can tell I have several different colors of Distress Oxide in there. Okay, now I'm trying to figure out, I don't like that as a vertical card, and I already have my Crafting and Relaxing stamp on the back of those. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it. And then I'm looking at it, and I do like it as a horizontal card, so I have a card base that'll work. See, that's my happy birthday. I do not like that font. I mean, that's like old. I liked this stamp with it, but I didn't like it as a horizontal. And then this one I loved. So Nothing is So Beautiful as Spring. This is an old stamp. This is probably 90s from Personal Stamp Exchange. When I pull out my woodblock stamps, you know that I've gone like into my favorites. If it's a woodblock stamp and it made it for the last couple decades, then I really liked it. Here I was testing out and trying to get a good image. These stamps have been sitting around for so long that they're a little bit dry. That's a very, very fine font. And so you have to stamp them out. You've got to try them a little and work with them. So I think by the fourth one I liked it. So don't hold it against the VersaFine pad. Keep in mind that that stamp, unless you've seen me use it, I don't think it's been used this year. It probably hasn't been used in several. And I just put it on the gray paper that I think was the same as the card base or something similar. I was just kind of grabbing things out of my scraps along the way. The idea of these was I needed something for my mom's gift, but I also was trying to get rid of some UFOs. Those had been sitting around for months, those cards, and they're cute. They should get used and mailed to someone. Here I'm dealing with those little tiny foam mount things. I saw a video the other day, and I can't remember who it was. Oh, I'm so sorry if I can't remember. But she doesn't use foam mount. She uses stacks of cardstock. So like her little strips and rejects of cardstock, she just glues them together and layers them up. And I think I'm going to start doing that because I'm tired of these stupid little things that I bought by accident. And foam mount, I don't know, it kind of gets expensive and annoying, and I don't want them super tall anyway. I just want a little bit of a lift, so I might try that. Okay, so what do you think of that one? Nothing is so beautiful as spring. It's a horizontal. I couldn't decide if I should put it at an angle or straight, but I really liked it along the line of the washi tape, so I went with it. And then I just started reaching around and found perfectly white enamel dots. So I just added a couple of those here. I still want to use this stamp. This is one of my favorite stamps, and it's not a very high quality. I mean, it wasn't a great stamp when I bought it, and it is very old. I'm using a super dull knife. I'm sure I have those kind you break off, you know, the super sharp little craft knife ones. I don't know where they were. That was on my counter because I had been cutting a box. So I just grabbed it. So what I did there was when I did my heat embossing, there was a giant flaw in it, and I had tried it a couple times in this video, and I couldn't see the card coming together well with that hole there. So I just grabbed some more washi tape and ran it right through that gaping hole. Then you don't really notice it. You're probably not looking at the card. See, that's from the 90s. That's awesome. You can slow that stuff down if you need to see it more, but I just wanted you to see how old that was. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all, in a pretty timeless font. When I buy sentiments, I like to think about the variety of things they would work for, and the fonts. A lot of the stamps I bought when I was first stamping were fonts that were trendy at the time. I mean, I didn't know that. I wasn't aware of that, but they were not timeless fonts. And so I've gotten rid of a lot of those and just kept my favorites. And like this one, I think I've talked about this stamp before. I bought this stamp when my friend decided to pick up and move from the Northwest to the Midwest all by herself just for a job, like just pack up and go. And so I bought this stamp and made her a card, and it seemed like the thing to do at the time. Here I'm showing you on my Tombow. I took a Sharpie and put a big blue dot on the bottom of that sucker because when I first started using it, every time I grabbed it, I couldn't figure out if it was right side up. So now I know when I grab it, if the dot shows, I have it upside down. It's not rocket science, but I just wanted to show you. And it's on the part that when you put the refills in, you don't lose it. So you don't have to draw it every time. It's just there. So here are the 4 cards all laid out. If you have any questions about how I did that background or you want to see it, let me know because it's super fun and easy, and I'll do one on camera for you. Here I'm just adding some little dots, which I think were old when I bought them because they come off the adhesive a lot. You'll notice in a minute, I noticed one of those wasn't glued down at all. So we have 4 cards that are multi-purpose and made out of the same sheet. And had I not put the washi tape on first, it would have been pretty quick to assemble the cards, I think. And there you go. So I hope you enjoyed this video with the actual process, and that you are taking time for crafting and relaxing, and that you guys are all doing great. I mailed my giveaway stuff today, and I am so appreciative of all of my subscribers. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.